I don't think Topiary is worth keeping. I don't think Astalar is worth keeping either, because even though it's a win condition, I need a ramp, because the only way I can beat an Unholy Death Knight anyway is if I get ramp and draw, and I can get Scale of Onyxia on curve, which we ended up getting. We have Nourish and Scale of Onyxia, so if we were to win this game, it would be through this. Okay, well it might end up being Blood Death Knight, which is a much harder matchup anyway. But we want to just keep minions in hand so it's least likely to snipe Denathrius. So turn 2 is going to be this, turn 3, turn 4. Excuse me? That is not what I expected at all. That is a bit peculiar, to be quite honest with you. We'll go Wild Growth into Nourish, into maybe even another Nourish. And then we'll just do what we can to find... We'll do what we can to find, Guff. Prince Renathal, pretty useless. Gain a mana, gain more mana. With this, I can also hero power, which is okay. Scale of Onyxia could be cool. I thought it was gonna be Unholy Death Knight, because there have been a lot of Unholy Death Knights recently. Corpses aren't that bad though. Compared to most OP decks, Death Knight is nothing to them. Yeah, it's kind of true. We found Guff? I still think it's Nourish though, and then we'll Guff after that. We'll Guff next turn, so that way we can also ramp up a little bit. I crafted Guff and ended up never playing Ramp because Ramp Druid has slowly died the last year. I don't think it slowly died. I think it was like arguably the most broken deck in the game, or one of the most broken decks in the game, until like, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago when it was nerfed. And then it was nerfed to the point where it was unplayable, and then it died. It was not really a sudden thing. It was more of a, yeah, Ramp Druid's broken, we're gonna nerf Guff, and then also buff the speed of everything else in the game, so it becomes unplayable. And it really just flipped out of nowhere. Weird that you're playing Bran like this. I mean, I can play Nourish into you, and then coin Ramp out a little bit more. I can also go coin Ramp and then Onyxia, and then Onyxia hits the poisonous. Well, maybe we can just hit the 2. Yeah, we'll have it hit her, and then 2 here, 2 here. It's pretty good. And they can't even play the Soul Stealer yet, which is kind of insane. Raid Boss, Onyxia, coin, ramp some more. This goes here, and then trade. And like, if you can hit the mid and late game with this deck without being about to die, the deck is still really strong. It's just like you have Unholy Death Knight, which is popular now, Aggro Mage, you have Pure Paladin, you have Beast Hunter, which is seeing a bit of a resurgence, Imp Warlock and Imp Curse Warlock, which are 2 of the best decks in the game that flood the board very, very quickly. And then the fact that Guff no longer gives you a full mana crystal, so it slowed down the deck that way. This is not good. Also, the Inubricon nerf, so the OTK is not as guaranteed and consistent. It just, all these things added up to be kind of frustrating. Ecore, what's your highest win rate Rogue deck right now? Send me a code if you find it. I have not played Rogue. I have basically stopped playing Rogue entirely because I did not like it. No. I'm gonna have to play Scale of Onyxia to kill this so I don't have to take a ton of damage. Or not take a ton of damage, that's the wrong thing, but you know what I mean. Let's just ramp up a little bit more. I mean, at this point, does it really even matter? I'll just play like you. Well, we'll play you first, see if we can find anything to help me kill that. No, there are no beasts. We'll just play Force of Nature, or take Force of Nature. And then just play that and Prince. Because the thing is, I want to try my best to... No, I needed to keep Prince Renathal in my hand to play around, what's it called? To play around Patchwork. I needed to get rid of... Yeah, that was my bad. Well, okay, now we're on a third... Now we're on a 11 turn clock. It's not that big of a deal. I can kill this off with 1 trade. Wild Growth is pretty good. The fact that it increases in mana is not the biggest deal. Let's go trade first. And then Moonlit. Topiary! No, we'll go with another Moonlit. Because that Moonlit was not great. Oh, jeez. Come on, man. I guess we'll go Aquatic Form and see what's at the bottom. Nah, Planted Evidence is kind of insane. Boom. I guess draw. I am not a fan of how this ended up going. Draw and ramp, we get Miracle Growth. We'll draw and ramp again. And then play Planted Evidence. Well, I guess we'll play Planted Evidence now, see what we can get. Another Plating, Wrath to draw a card. I do kind of like that. Let's deal a damage, draw a card. We get due process. Not particularly happy about that. We'll play this again, see what we can get. Natural causes, actually pretty good. We'll go natural causes here. We've been trying to find Astalar and or Denathrius, and we found neither of them, which is a bit unfortunate to say the least. Trade, this goes face. Kind of bad. We've already played Raid Boss and Nixia. We don't really have that many more minions that we can summon with Sire Denathrius. We've already played a lot of nature spells as well. Denathrius might not end up being as consistent of a win condition as I was hoping. Sunwell's fine. And we have 20 mana now. If we draw Bran, Astalar, or Denathrius, the game is over, which is clearly not my strong suit. Outcast Demon Hunter is the most aggro. It is not very good. It is not as aggro as several of the other aggro decks, and it runs out of gas way faster because it has very little draw. I would not recommend playing Outcast Demon Hunter. Corpse Explosion, I don't think that Corpse Explosion was really worth it. Aquatic Form. What's at the bottom? Oh, screw you, game. Absolutely screw you. Play this, play Miracle Growth, so we don't overdraw, and then just like Earth and Scales, unless we find Topiary, in which case we play all of my good win condition cards at the bottom of my deck. This is insane. I will gain some armor. I will play you. I'm not even playing it all in the right order at this point, to be honest. I'm just kind of dumping cards. Draw. Draw. We get Aquatic Form, we can get Astalar next turn and at least kind of go crazy with Bran, Astalar, Astalar again, Astalar again. Asphyxiate kills that, that's fine. Oh my god! Not the Muncher, no! Bran, Astalar. Oh, we'll get 3 Astalars, right? I'll have a lot of them. Boom. Astalar. Bran, Astalar. I guess I'll hit that twice, or I guess I'll hit that. Innervate, because I need to make room. I wasn't actually paying attention to my hand size. Astalar. Get 2 more of them. And then play Astalar again, and then I have 3 mana left over. And I guess I could play Zola to get even more Astalars and just play 2 Astalars every single turn. I feel like that's kind of goated with the sauce, actually. I mean, we'll overdraw a card and hopefully it's not Denathrius. But I mean, I find it hard for them to get out of this one. I mean, now we have 3 more Astalars in hand and then another one here. Like, it's gonna go boop, 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 boop every single turn. What are they supposed to do? I mean, maybe I could have bounced back to my hand Bran, because Bran would have double activated this and this for cheaper anyway. The only bonus that I got was the fact that this is slightly better stats, but actually bouncing Bran back and going Bran Astalar and then also this Astalar would have just been better because I get 2 more regardless, right? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, not bad. You heal a lot there. That's pretty good. That is almost enough to save you from 1 Astalar. Yeah, Zola Bran instead of Astalar. I didn't even think about that. But for those of you who are watching, you can learn from my misplays. Learn from my misplays. You should take Bran because Bran will double activate the Astalar anyway. You don't really need 2 more of them. Coining out Topiary might be pretty good. Innervate coining out Topiary might be even better. I don't know if I want any of these cards though. I kind of want ramp to get to Topiary as quickly as possible. Innervate counts as like momentary ramp, so it's fine. So it's gonna be Jerry Carpenter turn 2. Turn 3, I guess it could be as easy as going like Innervate, coin out Nourish immediately. And then we lose both of these, but it's permanent mana instead of just like temporary mana, which I think is still good. You don't like the Crypt Keeper? I guess you don't have like the most armor in the world. I guess we could take out Crypt Keeper and put in another Dozing Kelper and something else to help survivability early game, because that's really the thing that's been messing me up. Taking out Crypt Keeper for an extra Dozing Kelper and then like Theatar to disrupt combos might be the best version of this deck. Or maybe put the Insatiable Devourer back in so we have 1 really big hard removal. Both of those I could see being valid options. And I think Theatar would be better, because this deck does kind of struggle against like weird combo decks. I don't speak Russian, I apologize. But I'm sure what you're saying is awesome. They just add 2 cards, which means that they're probably gonna have a really big pop-off turn in 1 or 2 turns, which could be scary. Boom, boom, nourish, and then we'll just hero power. We can't really utilize the extra mana, but this does mean I can play Aquatic Form next turn, maybe find another 5-drop like Guff or Nourish or a Seedsman or a Wild Growth or really anything, and then just play it. Basically just find a playable card. It's either that or draw 3 cards off of Enrich, which I can also just do right after I play Aquatic Form if I find nothing anyway, so it's not really that big of a deal. Dagger, fair enough. Kind of weird that they haven't started comboing off yet. I mean, they have 2 reduced cost cards. They're gonna Shadow Step it, yeah. I mean, maybe I can gain enough armor to somehow miraculously not die here, but I doubt it. I'd say, yeah, might as well, right? 2 more mana crystals, not bad. I can just play Moonlit Guidance. I won't immediately draw the card though, which is kind of a bummer. So I'll just Hero Power hit face. I'll play Topiary next turn. Maybe I play Moonlit Guidance first and then Topiary if I don't find anything good. Or I'll just play Topiary into Enrich. No, I can't do that. That's too much mana. My bad. I cannot count.
We have plotted long enough.
Okay, so it's Thief Rogue, which I should have understood after they played Astalar Shadow Step that they're gonna go for like mid and late game insane value. But I don't know, taking out the Crypt Keeper, because you're right, the Crypt Keeper is kind of just a dead card in my hand right now. I don't really have anything that I can realistically do with it. Good evening, my friend. I'm not gonna be playing suggested decks. I don't really care about hitting Legend right now. I'm playing fun stuff. Do I wanna play Moonlight Guidance or do I wanna just play Topiary? I'll play Moonlight Guide and see what I get. But I don't really want to do that. We'll just take a Nubercon though. I do think it's my best option. And we can play him next turn, maybe. I think we play Enrich though over anything. But yeah, this is kind of just dead card in hand. And I mean, I'm not saying that Dozen Kelper would have been like way better, because it wouldn't have been. But at least to be a 4/4 on the board that could maybe have traded into something or apply a little bit of pressure. It's also a card that I could dump for 1 mana and make space to play Enrich as opposed to just being a dead card in my hand right now. I'm really hoping that they get like Hydrolodon and I get to play Spammy Arcanist and just wreck them. They hit my face as well, which is fine. Also, Theatar for combo disruption would be nice to have in my hand right now, because I could just, you know, try to disrupt them. Prince Renathal, absolutely amazing card draw there. We'll play Enrich and see if we draw anything good. We got Scale of Onyxia, which is good, but we can't necessarily play right now. Planted Evidence, love to see it. Don't really want Due Process, but it could make him overdraw, and it is still a nature spell. And then I could still play like Prince Renathal and not even overdraw. Due Process. This draws me a card and ramps me up 1, but I don't really want to do that, I guess. Well, I won't overdraw, right? Unless they play Scabs, which they can't play right now anyway. We're at 8 cards, we'll draw up, we'll go boom, boom, boom. Not bad. We can draw some cards with Wild Growth. They lost Scabs! That's actually huge. Oh, baby. Wait, that's actually massive. Holy moly. I mean, Krabatoa is definitely not great for them to get off the horn. That is a decent amount of damage for them, but like... Hi, I am new I'm new in Hearthstone, and yeah, I don't speak that language. Oh, sorry, you translated it for me. Hi, I'm relatively new to Hearthstone and wanted to know the best way to get dust quickly and create better decks. I would say there are 2 ways you could do it. 1 is just grinding the game. 2 is once you feel like you're good enough at the game, going into arena or duels and trying to get above 3 wins per game, because that will technically give you more value. So if you put 150 gold in to enter the arena or duels, you will get, if you get on average like 4 more wins, you'll probably get like 190 gold worth of rewards out of it. It's like a pack and 90 gold, or like a pack 50 gold and 40 dust or something along those lines, which is the way that I built my collection when I first started playing. I came from a Magic background. I played Hearthstone in beta. I picked it up pretty quickly and started averaging 6 or 7 wins on, and I started averaging 6 or 7 wins in Arena and went pretty much infinite and gained a decent collection. I didn't play as much as I wish I did, kind of, but it's okay. So I'm gonna need to not overdraw cards here. So I'm gonna go Scale of Onyxia and Prince Renathal. We're gonna kill this off, 1, 2, 3. And then this is gonna be, sadly, 1, 2, 3. And then this is gonna kill off 1, and then we're gonna play Prince Renathal. We're not gonna overdraw. We're gonna be close to overdrawing, but it won't be. But those are the ways I would recommend doing it, because there really isn't like a life hack. You know, there isn't really any way to hack the system and gain more. I'm free to play, and I have 30 packs, and I didn't get any legendaries yet, and I can't craft any. Yeah, the pity timer is 40 packs. So you're guaranteed to get one in 30 packs, or in 10 more packs. If you want much dust, you can also disenchant all of your wild cards. That's true. If you are a returning player and you want to like get rid of your wild cards, you can definitely do that as well. I might have to go a Nubricon into Earth and Scales and just try to gain armor so I can survive for a little bit longer, because it looks like I'm going to take a lot of damage. And I get a copy of a Nubricon, so it should be okay. And I guess I can end up playing this for free after I play a Nubricon, but it just feels like such a weird thing to have to do. Contraband stash. Luckily for me... Oh boy. Oh boy. That's actually not that big of a deal, because Kravatoa was their own class. They kind of low rolled on that. I'm going to take 4 damage, and then they multi-strike, so they hit me. Then they lose the weapon, then they hit the 3-2. You can't hit my face again, sir. There you go. I take 4 more. Ooh. 8. So we have 16 armor. We go boom, boom, Zola. So boom into Earth and Scales. And then it's gonna cost armor, which is a little bit unfortunate, but that's okay. I'm gonna kill this off because might as well. I want more damage to go face. Boom, boom, and then Zola for 3. Heal up quite a bit, and then we'll get 2 more into our hand, and we can play Denathrius in a little bit. Okay, that actually ended up working out well. I think Denathrius was a great inclusion into the deck, because it gives me another win condition if I don't draw Astalar. Because that was one of the things that was hurting the most, right? Like, I would get mana, but I wouldn't draw Astalar because it's a 40-card deck. And I just kind of sit there until I slowly die. But Denathrius, like, actively gives me a secondary win condition now. We got Guff. We can point it out turn 4. We like Scale of Onyxia into this matchup. Druid of the Reef is also fine to help me against imps. I would hope that there would be some imps here. I only play against Ramp Druid when I go as Frost Death Knight. Yeah, that's one of Frost Death Knight's worst matchups because of all the armor that you can get as a Ramp Druid. But I will admit that against almost every other deck in the game, Ramp Druid gets absolutely obliterated. I mean, you play against Blood Death Knight, they've got combo removal. Demon Hunter and Warlock OTK you too soon. Hunter and Paladin, too much tempo. Rogue, potential miracle stuff, you know? It's ridiculous. We get nourished though. I mean, this is a really good hand. Actually, Imp Warlock is potentially okay if they don't have the nuts early. Because if you can get Scale of Onyxia or Topier, you can pretty easily stabilize. And by easily, I mean, you can stabilize. So I'm actually not even that upset with the Imp Warlock matchup. Life tap again? What the heck? We play Nourish, and then we can go Scale of Onyxia next turn. I mean, they're gonna do something crazy. I guess I can go Coin Innervate Scale of Onyxia now. But I think what I'd rather do is just go Nourish, and then Hero Power hit. Get rid of one of them. It's not that big of a deal. We'll go Scale of Onyxia next turn. But if they don't play... Oh, they're going only Imp, and they're going to play the Shady Bartender. That's why they committed to the board so hard here. I should have played this. I should have double coined out Scale of Onyxia. It's my bad. I think that it might have been better. I got so greedy there. If I end up losing this game because they pumped these things up, I mean, it would be my bad. It looks like they're going Cursed, though, based on the fact that they're targeting their minion with something, which means I'm not going to get bursted down that hard that fast. So we want to go you, gain 2 mana crystals into Guff, and then double coin out 1 more ramp. Zola's pretty cool. Double coin out another ramp. Because now that I know they're not going the pure aggro version, that means they're not going to burst me down with this board. If they had Vile Library, they probably would have played it last turn anyway, so I'm not really worried about that either. They could play Tamsin and kill their own minions. Okay, that's possibly a problem. That is possibly a problem. But it's not that bad. I mean, I can get rid of the curses immediately before I actually even take the damage, because I can get them on my own turn. Spammy Arcanist. Way better than Scale of Onyxia here. Let's play that. Boom. Death Rattle goes off. Hits their own minion. I get a curse. I can play it immediately, though. And then the battle cry keeps going and kills everything off. I don't take any damage from these two. We can also go Moonlit Guidance. Earth and Scales is pretty good. I think maybe we go Moonlit Guidance, see what we get. We get Jerry Rig. Doesn't really matter too much. Aquatic Form is pretty cool. We can play that and try to find some things. Armor gain, love to see it. And then I want Planted Evidence as well for some more resource generation. And it's gonna be boom, boom, and then ramp. Because again, I don't think they kill me yet. Bran, I think is better than Planted Evidence. Boom, boom, ramp. We can play Enrich next turn and eventually get something crazy to play with Bran. I mean, if we can get Astalar, we win, right? Even if we get Denathrius, we come pretty close to winning. Every Ramp Druid against me, turn 5, Guff, turn 7, full board of Dragons, turn 9 and 10, they have almost 30 armor. And like, the thing about Ramp Druid is just that it gets overwhelmed so easily. Miracle Growth with armor gain is probably my best option here. I mean, obviously sometimes things like this happen, right? Where there's just nothing my opponent can do at this point, but... Do I want... We'll gain a mana crystal. Do I want to start drawing more cards? No, because if they give me curses, they could potentially burn more cards of mine. No, they probably can give me at least 2 curses next turn. Let's just go Prince Renathal. Yeah, we'll just go Prince Renathal for some minions on board so we can apply a little bit of pressure, I guess. So, starting like next turn, I'm oh... It's gonna be double drag below. Yeah, I knew that was probably gonna happen. This is why I didn't want to play anything too crazy, because I knew I could gain 2 or more curses in a single turn if I wasn't careful. Touch, fair enough. I will kill off Tamsin with my 3/4, or just play Scale of Onyxia and kill him off with that. Grimoire? Why would you do that?
Thank you for your service.
I mean, I guess you get to heal up a little bit more, which I guess is kind of cool and all, but I don't really know if that's the correct thing to do. And I guess it forces me to Scale of Onyxia to kill this off, but... Wild Growth? Moonlit. We get Denathrius. I don't mind Denathrius, actually. I would even say he's pretty good here. 1, 2, 7... plus a little bit of armor, I guess. 1, 2, 7 armor and ramp, I would assume. These things will die. We'll play Denathrius soon. I will gain some armor and then ramp up a little bit. How many curses do they have left? They still have 2 Abyssals. They have Bran and Cultist. Wow, they have a lot of potential curses left. Oh my gosh. Abyssal Wave comes down and wipes everything. I mean, do I really want to go Denathrius here? Kinda do want to go Denathrius here, right? Bran, Denathrius. And then Zola. Because we heal up a lot this turn, right? We heal up almost all the way to full. Then we go Zola. So we can play him twice again. And then we'll play the curse that does the most. Yeah, they can't deal with the 10-10 and then 2 more Denathriuses. I really think that including Denathrius did make the deck a lot better, though.